Cooper Flagg is all but guaranteed to be selected number 1 in the 2025 NBA Draft. But his teammate in the front court could end up being one of the top centers in the league sooner rather than later. I'm talking about 7'2" Khaman Maluach. He is a special player, but also a very risky selection for the team that picks him. All that combined makes him one of the biggest, if not the biggest, question marks in this upcoming draft. So hey, let's talk about it in today's video, guys. Thanks for checking out the channel. My name is Troy, and this is the Half Court Report. Make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe for some of the hottest YouTube content you're gonna find today. So let's talk about Maluach, because I cannot remember a time when I've seen a guy who has gotten as much publicity as he has, but for there to be so many questions about his game and what type of player he'll be in the NBA. Maluach is a real gamble, and that makes his story so interesting because on paper, he looks the part, right? I mean, you see him during warm-ups and you think this guy is a can't-miss prospect. 7'2", 250 pounds, 7'6" wingspan, and a 9'8" standing reach. I mean, it definitely seems like he checks all the boxes. So a few quick facts on Khaman. He was born in South Sudan, but he grew up in neighboring Uganda as a refugee with his siblings and his mom. He started playing basketball at age 13 and attended a local basketball camp put on by former NBA player and former Dookie Luol Deng. Khaman later joined the NBA Academy Africa in Senegal to get better at basketball and continue his education. Guys, the way this guy has picked up the game, though, and improved in just a few short years is incredible. Last year, he enrolled at Duke as the number 3 player in the country, and as of this recording, has averages of about 8 points, 6.5 rebounds, and a block a game on nearly 70% shooting in about 20 minutes per game. And this is all as a freshman and one of the youngest players in the upcoming draft. So what kind of player is he? Well, Zachary Cohen did a great breakdown for Real GM that I want to discuss a little bit more in depth. So he says at 7'2", defense is Maluach's calling card. After all, he's the last line of defense for a Duke team that is top 5 in the nation in adjusted defensive efficiency. And he may not be one of those guys who's averaging like 3 or 4 blocks a game, but there isn't another freshman in college ball that stands at least 6'11" and can top Maluach's 2.8 defensive box plus minus. Add to that, he has a block percentage of 6.2%, and realistically, you don't need to swat a lot of shots in order to be a valuable rim protector. Maluach is absurdly long, making him an imposing rim deterrent when he's standing up straight and putting his arms up, and that's a big part of the reason why Khaman is a strong interior presence. He's also good at altering shots and simply making players abandon taking shots around the basket. He's a master when it comes to forcing opponents into uncomfortable floaters and awkward finishes. All that combined with impressive mobility and unteachable foot speed helps him hold up nicely when he's switched onto smaller defenders in pick-and-roll scenarios. Overall, all those things will help prevent Khaman from being the type of center that can be played off the floor in high-leverage situations. So, if Maluach can make some minor strides when it comes to positioning and discipline, there's a real shot that he ends up being a borderline all-NBA defender. He seems to be very coachable and has already shown that he's capable of making some pretty significant impacts throughout the year. Plus, once he gets to the NBA, coaches are really going to drill down some of those minor details and help him work on some things that he still hasn't mastered. Maluach just has that natural, innate athleticism, coordination, and talent, all while being one of the biggest and youngest players who's going to enter the draft. Duke coach John Shire said to find a 7'2" guy that has the motor that Khaman has, he can guard 1 through 5. I think he's shown that now with his switching while still protecting the rim. I think his rebounding has really progressed, and I think his offensive stuff is going to keep getting better. So let's talk about offense, because Maluach has the potential to be a very useful player in that area. He's tremendous in the pick and roll as a finisher. He's capable of going up for lobs and hammering them down. He's also a no-nonsense player when he has the ball within 2 feet of the paint. And if there's nothing easy available for him, he has the basketball smarts to get rid of the ball, put it in the hands of somebody who can make something happen. Maluach also shows promise as a shooter, and he's not going to be a sniper probably at any point in his career, but he is a decent free throw shooter at 75%, and he has been able to stretch his game some this season. And guys, he's only 18, so there is going to be a chance for him to become a floor spacer down the line. But that's not the reason he's going to go high in the upcoming draft. It's going to be because of his defense and his athleticism. In terms of NBA comparisons, I've seen comps to Miles Turner of the Pacers, Derek Lively of the Mavericks, and Kristaps Porzingis of the Celtics. I expect Khaman Maluach to be selected in the late lottery, similar to former Duke centers Lively and Mark Williams, but you never know. A good performance in the NCAA tournament, some good workouts, some team in the top 10 may fall in love with Maluach. A few teams that I think would be a good fit for Khaman. Let's go through those. First off, the Bulls. With Nikola Vucevic on that expiring contract next season, Maluach would get some run at that center spot. The Bulls, they're a very guard-heavy team, so they need big men. And having guards like Lonzo Ball and Josh Giddey, getting Maluach the ball in good situations would do wonders for his game. Same with the Magic. They need somebody at that center spot long term. I think he would add to their already tenacious defense, and they'll likely be picking around that area when Maluach would still be on the board. And then you've got the Atlanta Hawks as a possibility. Trae Young would be averaging so many assists just lobbing it up to Maluach. You could start him and Onyeka Okongwu together in the front court, have a really nice big man tandem there. The Spurs, they'll be picking in that range too, most likely. And yeah, I know they already have Victor Wembanyama, but imagine adding another defensive presence to that team that already has Wemby, already has Stephon Castle, already has Devin Vassell. Those are the makings of a really strong defensive team. And having two guys playing next to each other at 7'2" and 7'4" sometimes, it's like the modern-day Ralph Sampson and Hakeem Olajuwon. And then finally, let's throw the Mavericks in there, because if Khaman Maluach gets really good in a couple of years, the Lakers are going to have their new starting center after the Mavericks trade him there. Luka is going to have yet another lob threat. But guys, that's what I think. Let me know where you think Khaman Maluach will get drafted. What do you think of his game? And where would you like to see him go in the NBA? Since you've watched this far, make sure you drop a like for the YouTube algorithm and hit subscribe too, so you never miss another NBA video from me. Check out some of the other videos that I have on this channel. Don't be a casual in basketball or in life. And I'll catch you next time on the Half Court Report. Peace.